Hey everyone, welcome to 996 The Howl for the uninitiated. This is an unedited YouTube vlog discussing everything Arizona Coyotes. Let's talk about the Coyote sniper. Yes, the Coyotes have a sniper. His name is Brendan Perlini, just celebrated his 22nd birthday. Another young gun, another young prospect. Born in Great Britain. Not a lot of people know that. British boy. Europe, and then spent his time in Canada, has a Canadian citizenship, and is a good old Canadian boy. Spent his OHL time with the Niagara Ice Dogs, and then was drafted. What was he drafted? 12th overall in 2014 by previous GM Don Maloney. That draft was pretty weak. I mean, some notable players, if you remember, Ekblad was drafted first overall. Then Sam Reinhart was second. Nylander was taken ahead of him. Taken after him, not much. Larkin, Alex Tuck, and I think David Pastrnak is the big name that was drafted after him. Even Anthony DeAngelo, former Coyote, was drafted after Brendan Perlini. So not much talent in that draft. A lot of middling players. Still trying to find their way into the NHL. Fabry also drafted after him. So Perlini's on par with, I think, Fabry. Even Larkin. Larkin's got a slight edge. He had a great rookie season but kind of died off. But yeah, Brendan Perlini scored 17 goals last season. Almost hit 20. We'll get into that. He had 30 points overall in about 74 games. He was scratched maybe a bit, one too many times by Rick Tocchet. Last season, he was called up from the Tucson Roadrunners for Dave Tippett, and he got 14 goals, but only 21 points in about 58 games. Ever since he got called up, I think it was in December of 2016, he was sniping goals. I mean, this kid's got an unbelievable shot. That's his best use on the ice, is his shot. If you give him the time and space to pick a corner, it's going to go in all the time. He's fast, and this season, Tocchet's been harping on his defensive play, on his board play, and you started to see that late into the season. He would come back really fast and break up odd man rushes on the other team. It was so great to see Perlini on the back end. But to be honest, he needs a lot of time and space to get his shot off and to really show off his worth in the NHL. And that could be a problem because there's games where teams don't give you that time and space, and he doesn't create the space himself. He needs a nice breakout pass, and he needs a good odd man rush where he has a lot of space between him and the D-man. And that's when he really shines. So I think he needs to work on creating his own space. Take the ice that's given to you, yes, but you got to go to the dirty areas and grab the puck and make plays yourself. Like other young Coyote players this season, he had a terrible goalless drought as well. 16 straight games from February 17th to March 26th. It's about over a month with no goals, and in his last 23 games to end the season, he only had one goal. So when your sniper is only scoring one goal in a quarter of the season, that's not good news. And because of that, he was getting scratched. Couldn't find a solid spot in the lineup. Tocchet was, blendering the lineup, seeing where he fit. He really didn't produce on the top line with Stepan and Keller, which is strange because he'd want more ice time and to be on the top line, be a top line winger like a Tarasenko. But I think the opposition he was facing while being on the top line was too much for him. I think he's a good second liner, third liner, catch the weaker opposition on their toes and catch him with speed. So, maybe next season we see him on the second line, maybe with Strome and Domi, or with Dvorak on the third line. We'll see. It's too early to tell. But yeah, he scores. When he scores in bunches. I mean, he had a bunch of 4-game goal streaks, and then he just dies off. Not sure what the issue is with him there. But these droughts like Fisher and like Keller and like Domi need to be shortened up, and he needs to capitalize more. And that's it. I love him on the power play. It gives the Coyotes a different dimension where everyone's focused on OEL with the patented wrist shot at the back end. Then you have Keller to the side of the net looking for that cross crease pass or that high tip. And then you have Perlini working the other point who give him enough space, and on the power play, that's all you get is space. He could do some really good damage. And yeah, I love him on the power play. Like I said, gives the Coyotes another dimension to work with. And hopefully Tocchet keeps him on the power play. Last season he had 11 power play points compared to last season where he only had 5. So it seems like Tocchet puts him on that power play more than Tippett, and he thrives there. Shooting percentage, pretty high in his rookie campaign. He had 15%, and then last season 13%. I expect that to drop around 11, but his shot's so accurate that he could really sustain those numbers above 10%. And that's pretty much it. Brendan Perlini, his mom always tries to come to home games, which is great to see, and Tyson Nash always ribs on her. I like Perlini as a player off the ice. He has a lot of issues on where his inconsistency worries me. His work ethic was starting to worry me, but seeing later into the season he was back checking and breaking up odd man rushes calmed me down on that front. But he's just got to work hard. He's got to come back. He had 17 goals, 3 more, and you're at 20. Just like Fisher, just shorten those droughts and you'll hit 20 easy. Get some good line mates. Don't play on the fourth line. I think he'll be good, but it's time to step up. I think this is his last year on his entry level. So, I mean, he's got to come out hard, and he's got to pocket some more goals. His assists have doubled since his rookie year, so that's good to see. Maybe he's making more plays and playing with better players to rack up those assists. So, yeah, Perlini's got to get going here. Good offseason, come back, and we'll see what happens. Kind of worried about him, but I think Tocchet will coach him into a great player. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support.